Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back once again. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania for another interview with South African refugees. This one out of the Bay State in Massachusetts. You can see my guest is already giving herself away. It's Pikachu. And thanks a lot. Apologies for the late start. We were hosting an interview here at the Media Center with rapport with South African refugees. We just, that ran a little bit over, so we had to push this to a late start. And then we're still a couple minutes behind that. So thank you for your patience. Appreciate it. And welcome to my guest, Pikachu. How are you doing?
Hi, Colonel. We're doing good, and yourself?
Well, I'm older, and I'm loving the mask. I'm going to have to figure out how to use that myself. That's pretty cool. That must be some AI sort of thing. I love it. It's awesome.
Well, I thought it was appropriate for the occasion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely. Somebody says this is the Colonel's first Asian refugee.
Nee, julle, ek is Afrikaans. Ek is van Suid-Afrika. Ek is nie AI nie. Ek is nie van China nie. Ek is hier.
Adrian Bonowell just gave a 10-pound super chat. Thank you for responding to me. All sorted. Sorry for taking your time. No, Adrian, you're fine. You didn't take my time. It's I do my best to help people as much as I can. I'm just thousands of email behind, so I'm glad I got to yours. And I'll be honest with you, Adrian, I can't even remember what yours is about now. I answered about 45 emails at 1 o'clock last night. So, and I did a few this morning. All right, so Pikachu, let's get started. You're from South Africa. Can you tell us what province you're from?
We came from Limpopo.
Okay. All right. And when did you first hear about this program?
Well, we heard about it on the news, and we thought, whatever, because it's too good to be true. When something is too good to be true, it is usually. So we didn't bother too much. And then my brother-in-law, he actually sent us a link, and we applied with the email. And afterwards, we did the statement of interest, and it happened from there.
And when did you first hear of my channel? Curious.
From Timothy.
Oh, okay. All right. So you heard. Because that person had found out about my channel. Okay, cool. When was the first time you were actually contacted? Sorry.
They started to contact us in October. And we got our first call from the American Embassy themselves, and it started to happen from there for us.
So that's a bit of a wait there. You did say the statement of interest went in. That's. I mean, several months. Were you concerned at all?
Well, we were still in that stage of, is it really going to happen? And when it happened, I tell you, it was tears. And it was excitement, and I told my husband, listen, yeah, this is real. This is happening now.
Yeah, I can imagine it was something. So, as you said, October, and then when did you arrive on this side?
On this side, we landed on the 28th of January. 2026,
okay.
Yeah.
So not quite a month yet. We're just 3 weeks into it. And how has your arrival gone so far? We've been hearing cases of people recently who've come, who've had some difficult times, or being mistreated or neglected by their case officers. Is that a situation for you, or are you getting your needs met that were the actual genuine expectations?
Absolutely no. We've been treated like really, really well. They received us very well. We were placed in a nice apartment. No buggies or creepies running around. Our cupboards were stocked, our fridge was stocked, and they are really amazing. They even treated me to a nice birthday gift on my birthday on Valentine's Day. So, yeah, we can only say good things.
So your birthday is on Valentine's Day. That's just my brother's birthday is also February 14th. Oh, happy belated
awesome,
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, for those who don't know the nicknames of the U.S. states, the state of Massachusetts is known as the Bay State because you have Cape Cod in this huge bay that sweeps out in front of the state of Massachusetts, known as the Bay State. Not because of bay leaves, but because of that bay. They are in the Bay State. So, any culture shock so far, Pikachu? I mean, has anything jumped out at you? I'm sure you're going to tell me you've been to Walmart. Everyone else seems to have been there.
The closest Walmart to us is in Boston itself. So that's quite a distance. And for us, that we don't have transport yet. So to take an Uber there just to visit Walmart is not worth it. So the closest shop we've got is Market Basket. So we visit that there quite often.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Market Basket. It must be a New England or Massachusetts thing. So, what you guys got here around the time we had a big snowstorm. How was that?
Yeah, we actually arrived like 2 days after your snowstorm. But I tell you, the snow is thick. It was disastrous, especially if you have to Uber. Like the one time we wanted to go and visit Bank of America. And when we checked on the map, it showed us Bank of America, but it didn't show us it was an ATM. So the Uber driver dropped us off at the ATM in Moody Street, and we had to walk to Main Street. It was quite a distance, and the space to walk on the sidewalks is not a lot because it's just ice everywhere. But we made it work, and we ventured, and there is where we met this one lady. We had an incident. Because the sidewalk is very narrow, you have to walk in a straight line, basically. And I noticed the guy in front of us walking a little bit slower. And I peeked around to see why he's walking slower. And I saw that it was this elderly lady standing there. And she was walking with a cane. And we just stopped and you let her pass, ne? And eventually she stepped out of the way and we passed her. And I said to her, like we do in South Africa, oh, thank you so much, being kind. And she was like pointing her cane at me and she said, God damn, you're not the only one in this world. And oh my God, she had a fit, a straight fit in the street.
That sounds like she had what we call a conniption fit.
So I told that to our agents, and they said, "Yo, it must be the cold and the snow that's affecting her mind."
That's pretty funny. No, it was quite a bit of snow. In fact, we got the heaviest snowfall was here in central Pennsylvania of the entire country for that big storm. The irony, though, is that, of course, I was supposed to go to Dallas that week after that. And for 5 days in a row, the flights were canceled to Dallas because they had ice. They couldn't clear the field, which is a very strange situation for Texas. And here, within 24 hours, everything was operational. All the roads were cleared, even the secondary roads, the little bridges. The airfield was cleared within a few hours, and we were back to normal operations. But I had to delay it for a week, and I wound up being down there on the anniversary of President Trump's executive order on the 7th of February in Dallas for the big meet and greet, which was pretty cool. You guys came over here around the time frame. I'm trying to remember, were you guys stuck in Frankfurt? I don't recall if it was you guys or the other group. No, it wasn't you guys.
No, it was luckily not us.
It's all starting to bleed together for me now. There's just so many refugees in so many circumstances. I mean, I start to feel a little bit embarrassed because I, like the gentleman earlier said, thank you for answering my email, Adrian. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to remember what I answered because there's just so many. Yeah. So, okay. So just a few weeks. So let's run through a few items here very quickly. Let me run the list and then you can answer it. Okay. So when you arrived, did you get greeted by a refugee case officer? Were you taking a temporary accommodation? If so, was it temporary, a hotel, or permanent? Are you in a permanent place now? And how is your resettlement going so far?
Okay, we were received by our case manager. She was very kind. She received us with some warm jackets because we're not used to this weather. And she brought us to our permanent location. So we're not in a hotel. We've got our own apartment. It is really very nice with a beautiful view. And it is nice. It is just a little bit of a mission because we are not placed close to public transport or the T. So we have to Uber where we want to be. And that is costing quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I could see that where that would be a bit of a problem. Mar Neem just gave a 350 rand super chat saying thank you for doing these interviews. Very helpful. Well, you're welcome, Mar Neem. It's my pleasure, and thank you for the super chat. That's also very helpful. Even after Uncle Sugar takes his cut and YouTube takes their cut, a little bit of that coin does go in the pocket, which helps offset some of these costs. So, Pikachu, you got notified when, and then how long after you got notified were you actually boarding a plane? Some folks, like the Stoltz, had 3 days to go. Others have had 11. What was your time frame?
So our experience was a little bit different, not a little bit, quite different. So we received almost a month beforehand, we received an email from our agents requesting our code sizes and our CVs, our resumes. And I thought to myself, listen here, but the email states that I'm picking you up on the 28th at Logan Airport. That's it. So I thought to myself, with all of the scams going on, I said to her, quite sarcastically, I responded to her, and I said to her, the 28th of when and why do you need my CV if you've got my file in front of you? And she explained, after she explained, I felt like so bad because I was quite sarcastic with her. And we took it from there. So it's about almost a month beforehand, we received the email stating that we are going to Boston. And yeah, we received our tickets a week before we actually flew.
All right, so you had about a week before. Now, let me just, for the audience, let them know. I get a lot of these messages, and maybe this will slow down some of these messages I'm getting, at least for the 300 plus people currently listening. Folks, the case officers, if they're proactive, which they should be, will be getting your email contact and or phone number, and will try to reach out to you before you come to ask for your CV so they can start working on it and turn it into a resume, and also to get a better feel that they've got the correct information about your family. So don't be surprised by that if someone reaches out to you from the States. It's not a scam. Now, if you're getting a phone call from a +234 number, which is Nigeria, that's a scam, okay? If you get an email from the Social Security Administration saying, hey, your 2025 statement, you need to verify it, you don't have a 2025 statement, you don't have a Social Security number. Put your mouse over the link, let it hover, and see that it's actually taking you to Brazil or to Nigeria. Those are scams. Use your judgment on this. These people are trying to help you, and that's important. So it's a good news that your case officer didn't take it the wrong light and they were friendly and polite. But in your case, Pikachu, it sounds like they were trying to set you up for success before you even left South Africa.
Yes. No, surely they really go out of their way. If we've got questions, they do assist us immediately. They explained everything for us, and they tried to just explain to us, just please stay on the right side of the law and you'll be fine. So yeah, they gave us a nice intro.
Well, at least one thing you're not going to have to worry about for at least the immediate future. You don't have to worry about speeding tickets or parking tickets. You're not driving.
No. So in our area, we are already 4 families. We're receiving one more today, a little bit later today. And 2 of those families already bought cars.
Sorry?
I said we are 4 families now, placed in the same area, within the same building and surrounding buildings. And 2 of those families already bought a car.
Oh, well, that's pretty quick. That's well done. Okay, so good to hear they've done that. Now, for you guys, your experience coming over, what was it like? I mean, was it the first time for your family flying? By the way, we should let people know that while Pikachu is on camera, there are some other people in the room who are off camera, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but they're not coming on camera. Apparently, we ran out of anime mask.
No, then they don't want to show their faces, even with a mask.
Oh, even with the mask, they don't want to do it. Okay, that's some serious state security going on there. But so your experience coming here, what was the travel like? Had people in your party travel before? It was the first time traveling? I mean, very few people from South Africa actually flown from South Africa to the U.S. It's a long flight, and then you've got to get over here. Did you? What was the route you took? Can you tell us that?
So we took off from OR Tambo, from Jan Smuts Lughaven, yes, and we went to New York, and then from New York we went to Logan Airport.
what was the flight like for you? You know, I've talked to people that have small kids with them, and you know, people ask how their kids do. Others flying for the first time. And of course, recently had Bruce, the service dog, who flew on the plane in the cabin with the owner. Bruce was awesome.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, no, it's pretty cool. They sent me pictures of Bruce on the floor at her feet. Now the good news is she's a tiny little thing. The girl's 18, so the dog didn't need much space. So anyway, but yeah. So what was your flight actually like? I mean, again, was it the first time anybody flew, or are you old hands at flying?
Well, my husband, he flew locally, but for me it was the first time ever, and it was not as bad as everyone say. We had very little turbulence. We had actually had a very smooth flight. The only thing that was uncomfortable is the space for your feet and to sleep. That is really, really, really uncomfortable, but it is worth it. It is worth it for just to get out there and into the US. It is really worth it. The uncomfortable. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of kids on the flight, and if there was, we didn't hear them. But they do say there was I don't know from where they are, but it was another couple. Obviously, there's no smoking, no vaping, but they were vaping on the flight, and they were late, and we didn't know what to say. And yeah, no, we actually had a wonderful flight. It is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's worth it.
Well, I'll put this out there right now. If you're on a flight with me, when I come back from South Africa and you're refugees, I will dime you out if I catch you vaping. You do not vape on a flight. Just warning people that right now. I will deal with that myself. That's just inconsiderate, rude. You know, I mean, if people can't go 17 hours without, ingesting something, then they've got an addiction. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, it's a serious problem.
All right, so were you dealing with, you don't have to elaborate on this, we don't want to get into it, but were you dealing with past persecution or did you have concerns about future persecution?
I am not going to elaborate on that. I did have some past, and obviously everyone's got future persecution problems.
Yeah, but all these people say, but how do I articulate? I'm like, what do you mean, how do you articulate? There's 145 race-based laws. If you're an entrepreneur, you can't get contracts with the government because they're reserved for people who have black skin. I mean, that's persecution. It's not hard to figure out for future. If you're in business, you're going to go bankrupt. And if you now in the future, you own your family farm and you're required to hire no more than 4% of your middle management or upper management as white males, and then you got 4 sons, guess what? You can't hire them. They can't work on your farm. I mean, it's ludicrous. I mean, there's definitely lots of fears of future persecution. I think people don't really think that through. Anyway, so what's been the thing that's been most interesting for you since your arrival? It's just 3 weeks, but something's got to jump out at you, other than a lady barking at you because of snow.
It's the people, the kindness, and the way you are treated, and walking outside, not looking over your shoulder. I still have that a little bit. Like last night, I was outside 9 o'clock and someone was walking and I could hear them walk. And I was like immediately checking what's happening around me. But we will get over that. It will take some time. We will get used to it.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad self-defense mechanism, but as long as it's not paranoia. But in South African cases, it's often paranoia because it's something you constantly have to worry about. But I mean, it's still a good idea. You know, I mean, lock your doors, and don't leave valuables on the seat of your car. I mean, that's just good judgment sort of thing. So don't get, I don't think you will, but don't get totally laissez-faire with your security. I mean, especially when you live near a big town, even if you're in a nice suburb, crime does happen. No place is crime-free, unfortunately. There's always people trying to take advantage of others. So the food, it's been a few weeks. How you guys adjusting to the food? You okay?
Oh my God. It is something to get used to. Lily has got a thing there, the bread. Like if you go down the bread aisle, I refuse to walk down that aisle because the smell, it is just too much. You can smell the oldness of the... No, thank you. It's not for me. It's really... I do not walk down the bread aisle. I'll go to the fresh bakery and buy my bread there, like the what you call it, baguettes and stuff. That's all. That's what I've been buying. But everything, it tastes different, but you get used to it. We are now used to some of the taste, so yeah, it's just something to get used to.
The oldness of the bread? I'm not sure what you're referring
to. You can
to.
smell it. You will smell it. For us South Africans, I know some of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. You can smell, I don't know, it's got this, that whole aisle has got that weird smell.
All right, I'll take your word on that. I don't recognize a weird smell, but I mean, of course, I've lived in circumstances where I went to a bakery to get fresh bread and also purchased bread, loaves from supermarkets. So anyway, that's the first time I've heard that one. That's interesting. I haven't heard that one. So yeah, people saying to bake your own bread. Yeah, go ahead. You say that. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, people say, hey, are you gonna do your own laundry on a rock too? Whoever said that in the chat. You're gonna go out there and mash your clothes on the rock. We'll see how that goes before you start using wash machines and dishwashers and things like that. Anyway, so the bread. But I mean, what about the other? I mean, what about meats? I mean, no. I mean, things have gone up in cost here, but I'm sure you've had a chance to have some meat over here.
Yes, we did. We went out to Market Basket the other day and we bought steaks. And yeah, I made a nice meal. I made like a boiled potato with a steak and a salad. Guys, it is really lovely. It is different than South Africa. It is tender. It is tasty. It is very nice. No, that is not the problem. The only problem that I've got, because I like my toast in the morning, is the bread. That is the only problem we've got. And the coffee. The coffee. Do not think that you're going to buy Nescafe and you get Nescafe, because Nescafe is not Nescafe. Look at the back of the bottle. It will say Nescafe packed for America or Nescafe packed for South Africa. That's the only thing you're going to buy online.
Well, okay, so Nescafe is Nescafe, but large corporations produce the same product with different flavors and different tastes. For instance,
Yes.
Coca-Cola in West Africa tastes different than Coca-Cola in Europe, which tastes different than Coca-Cola in America. Even though purportedly it's the same recipe, it's not. I can tell the difference. You can sit down and do a blind taste test and give me 3 bottles of Coca-Cola from those places, and I can tell you one came from Mexico, one came from Germany, and one came from
really?
Liberia. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
the Coke is nice here.
I don't know about that. It's got that high fructose corn syrup, so that one we're probably going to part company on. I prefer the Mexican Coke. But anyway, so, no, look, it's just the way things are. Corporations do that. It's the same with shampoo. You get shampoo from a company that produces in Europe and the States. The way it's done is differently. It just depends. So you just have to shop around. I mean, coffee, you can find, like, for instance, I know people who are of German origin or who are Germans live in America, and they insist on having German coffee. Of course, no coffee is grown in America or in South Africa or in, well, for the most part, not in South Africa, or in Germany. It comes from the tropical regions, and it comes from Colombia and Ethiopia and Uganda and places like that. So it's just the way that they roast it or the way that they mix the blends. Now, people like the Jakobs Zuckard, which is a big German brand. You can buy it in America, though, but it's pricey. You have to go to the supermarket and look for it. So I'm not sure about getting the blends that you get in South Africa because there's not a big enough market for that. But you'll probably find if you look for something premium like the German, it'll be similar to what you get in South Africa for coffee. But I mean, why are you buying Nescafe? That's like instant coffee. Ugh, ugh.
But it's so nice.
Oh, you do like it? I thought you didn't like it.
No, not this Nescafe. It
Oh,
is very weak.
You mean the South African Nescafe?
Yeah, that is very nice. And what is that other one? I used to buy big bottles. Is Doe Egberts.
Yeah, that's Dutch or French or Belgian, one of those three. I'm not sure which one it is. But yeah, I think you can also get that in America too. You just have to look around. But you got to be smart about how you shop because those brands from Europe, they want to really jack the price up on you. So you just got to be careful about that. All right, so you like the meats. That's interesting. I don't really eat beef here much in the States just because bad history with it. I don't see much of your place, but I'm looking behind you. It looks like a rather nice looking place there. Is it a new apartment complex or what?
It's not a new apartment complex, but it's very nice. We are actually sitting with my brother-in-law because he's got a very good laptop, and we set up at his place. Our place is literally 2 doors down on the same floor.
All right, well, that's kind of handy as long as you get along.
No, we do get along. They actually arrived 2 days ago. So we are very excited that they were placed in the same area, and now we've got some family with us.
All right, so let's talk about some of the practicalities. About 3 weeks in, have you already gotten a Social Security number, or do you have an appointment for one?
Something else happened with us, and our case agent said that this is the first time they've experienced it. So we were at the offices to sign some paperwork, and they received a mail, and they opened it, getting quite excited, thinking that it was our social security numbers. So it was not. So it was a letter from USCIS that we had to go back to the office and do biometrics again. And that was actually really very fast. And 2 days after that, I received an email with a decision, and now everything is on the go, and we are waiting for EAD and socials.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then your social security number should arrive in less than 2 weeks because they print it out. And by the way, take care of your social security, take care of your card, protect it somewhere, scan it, take a photograph of it so you never forget your social security number, because you're not a person in America without a social security number, because everything hinges on that. Unfortunately, your identity hinges on it, your credit history hinges on it. And without a credit history, you can't get utilities, you can't get mobile phones, you can't rent cars, yada, yada, yada. You can't get loans. Well, we've seen that some people have got loans without credit history, but you get extremely high interest rates. So that social security number is critically important. So make sure the AD is a formality, but the social security number is necessary. So that leaves the next question. Have you all started to look for employment yet?
From the day we arrived, the first day we slept. We tried to stay awake until 8 o'clock in the evening so that we can adjust to the time. We were very tired though, but we took one day and then we started. My husband already did like 6 call interviews, and he did 2 in-person interviews, and he is going for that is from 2 different companies though. And for the one company next week, he's going to go for the 3rd interview.
Well, that sounds very encouraging. That's good to hear. Are these jobs in the fields related, or are you reaching out and doing something else?
No, it's in his field. They are actually very excited. He told me yesterday when he went for the interview, one of the managers, because he had an interview with all of the floor managers, and one of the managers, it's like 3 times he told him that he is quite impressed and he will make sure that he does everything in his power to get them to get the job. So we are holding fingers crossed, and yeah, it is just the first job. And then we can get started, try to get some transport and save on Uber.
Well, that's pretty exciting. So you mentioned a couple folks in the complex around you there have already purchased automobiles. Did they buy like a 1937 Rust Bucket, or were they able to get something more recent?
No, the second couple that arrived, they actually bought a BMW X5. Yes.
Okay. I'm hanging out with the wrong refugees. Okay, I'm not going to Dallas anymore. I'm going to Massachusetts.
You're more than welcome. We're just waiting for the parts to defrost, and we're going to have a bride. Like our agent said, we taught her about a bride. So we are waiting for the parts to defrost, then we're going to have it. You're more than welcome to join.
So that kind of begs a question I want to ask, because I've seen, and so I want to make sure it's clear, because some people are making assumptions about the refugee assistance case officers. I've seen those who've been refugees in the past from all over the world who've been fantastic, and those who've been refugees from the past who've been abysmal. I've also seen Americans, black and white, who've been very good and who've been abysmal. Your refugee case officer, are they a recent immigrant or are they an American?
No, they are not American. I think they said they're here for 27 years already.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. But I just want to share this as well.
Sure, go ahead.
Our caseworker, I'm going to do her name because no one's going to know her, Damares, and her husband, they picked us up from the airport. So her husband and my husband actually has got like a bro relationship now. So when he heard my husband is going for the interview, and the interview states that you have to have your own tools, it is so nice. He actually went home. He went through his garage. He packed up some tools for him with a tool belt, and within the tool belt he did put a little pocket Bible, writing to him there that this is the most important tool in this bag, and if you need a prayer, just call me, brother. I will be there. Oh, wow. He got tears in his eyes. that is what I mean. We have been received with so much love, and we do appreciate it so much.
No, it's really good to hear because, of course, you've probably, Pikachu, you've probably picked up on the nonsense going on online where people are reveling in the failure of the refugees, ha ha ha, you know, and of course it's all being overblown because of one news article, which is being taken in a context. The story wasn't about South Africans being neglected. It was about refugees being neglected. But of course, South Africans are the only ones coming over now, so it's all being made about South Africans. So, I mean, there's some really sick and twisted people in South Africa, black and white and brown, who revel in other people's suffering. These are nasty people who really don't deserve to be given oxygen, but they do get oxygen because of the nature of South Africa's media environment and social media. So it's really good to hear and heartwarming to hear that your resettlement is going very well so far. I mean, now I'm going to have to come to Boston, even though I hate driving up there. What I'll do is I'll go up the Hudson Valley in New York and then cut across western Massachusetts. That's the only way to do it without sitting in traffic jams for 19,000 hours. The traffic going between New York and Boston is horrendous. So that's what I'll have to do. Plus, it'll give me an excuse to go up to New Hampshire where our radio station is. I'll probably time it so that I'm there on a Wednesday night. And I can be in the studio with my co-host, which would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, no, it sounds like you're having a good experience. Any regrets?
Absolutely none. The only regret is what I've got is that my son's still at home.
Ah, you still have a son. Well, I presume we're talking about an adult son.
Yes. But I'm not going to talk about it because if I talk about it, I am going to get emotional. It's not time for emotions.
No. The reason I asked that is, there are some people who have a situation where they have minor children and the other parent, not always the spouse, the other parent refuses to release the child or give permission to take them overseas. So that's why I want to make sure we make that distinction. So the cases that you're there on, were your cases linked?
No, absolutely not. No. What we did is when we came to this area where we're at, so our agency, it's a very small agency. Because of COVID, apparently they got cut to more than half. So they can't receive so much refugees at this moment. And we mentioned to them, I just asked her, listen here, how is it that you came about my file? And she explained to me that it was sent to her and they pulled us. So I said to her, okay, is it possible just for you to go and check for my brother-in-law who's got their file, and maybe she can tell me where they're going, because we don't know how everything is working. And she said to me, I must give him the case number, and yeah, it happened for them. They pulled their file. They actually just requested some information, and then they just sent them the file, and here they are.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Things worked out very well for you guys. Were there any parts of the whole process that were frustrating or difficult or disappointing? I mean, most people say that the wait was challenging. They sat on pins and needles, especially those who spend all day long on the frickin' my case,
yes,
checking every 5 minutes. Did you do that?
I was one of those, but I gave up and I just went about my life, and yeah, everything just happened like that. But sitting on the phone, wondering what's happening, I was one of those.
And what did that do for you? That made you miserable, didn't it?
Squat, zero, nothing. It made me sick. It made me worried. It made me go crazy. No, guys, please just have faith. It's gonna happen. I know it's very easy to say because you're here. I know I was in that same boat. Just have faith. If it happens, it happens. All in a good time.
Mad Max, who's just arrived this week, said that his case still says that it's open. Yeah. It has.
Mad Max. He's been such a big comfort to me. You
Really?
know that guy? He's got a big heart. When I'm stressing out, Mad Max is there to calm me down. No, thank you, Mad Max. Love you.
And he waited a very long time for this. He was one of the people that jumped on this from the outset. Max and I met on my last trip to South Africa, and he's been a very, very helpful part of the program since then as a moderator. And he was patient. He never panicked, and now he's over. You know, it shows that it does work out. And Max had a very good case based on what's going on. Of course, we all know that Max had to go out every single night and do patrols because they were attacking the area he was at, and so every night he put his life on the line, and now he's here, and hopefully that's not the case for him anymore. I say hopefully. I know it's not the case. He doesn't have to go out and check the fence line every night here. If he does, we got a serious problem. But all right, so the rest of the family, how are they adjusting?
Everyone is adjusting good. You know what? When we arrived, it's like we tried to stay awake until 8 o'clock. We did. We went to bed at 8 o'clock, but 2 o'clock in the morning we wake up and we do smoke. So we're still trying to quit though, but it will happen. So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning we wake up. We were wide awake. So we went downstairs because you're not allowed to smoke in the building and you're not allowed to smoke close to the building. So you have to walk opposite the street. And we went down, everything was quiet. And we did our smoke, we did our thing. And when we came back, we only then just checked on the phone. It says minus 19. But it didn't feel like minus 19. It's like you hear minus 19 and you go like, oh my gosh, I will never survive. Guys, it's not, no. And we actually, my husband went down, not with their blazers, with his Mr. Price jacket. And he was fine. He didn't freeze.
Mr. Price jacket? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to have to call BS on that one. That's crazy.
No, it was quite good.
That seems improbable.
And no, it didn't feel like minus 19, but yeah, it is something to get used to. If the wind blows, you need their blazers. But if the wind if it's quiet, you're fine with your Mr. Price jacket. It will work.
But you're saying minus 19. I presume you're talking that was Celsius, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's minus 2 Fahrenheit. That's only 34 degrees below freezing. It's not that bad. Yeah, actually, that is a little cold. I mean, that's my threshold for the shorts when I'm out exercising is 20 degrees, which is well below freezing, and I don't stick with the shorts after that. But you're right. The cold, unless you're in a place where it's damp, and we've had a lot of rain here this week, and it's a lot warmer, so it's in the 40s. But the rain was coming down was just above freezing, and that's pretty miserable because it's very damp. But when there's no when it's below freezing and you don't have the wind, it's usually not too bad unless the humidity is kind of high. So it just depends. Alrighty, so let's see. Yeah, someone said quit smoking now, be healthier, says Mad Max. Well, you'll save a lot of money. Yeah, are you finding sticker shock with those cigarettes? How expensive they are?
It is crazy expensive, guys. If you can stop in South Africa, do stop, please. But we are on our way. We're busy. We will get there. It takes some courage, but we will get there. So the cheapest packet of smokes that we buy, it's $8, ne? Yeah, it's $8.
What are you smoking? Grass seed? I mean, that's cheap for cigarettes these days. The taxes are pretty high. I mean, New York, it's like $23 to $28 a pack in New York City.
Jeez, okay, no, that's a lot.
I think if you went to New York, you'd probably give up smoking. That's just too expensive for people.
Yeah, no, definitely. By the time when you come here, we will be stopping. For a while now.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, so let's see. What else can we talk about here about your experience? The time that you waited, as you said, you kind of watched that portal. You finally gave up on it. That was the advice I've been giving people ever since that my case thing came out. And I said that is not healthy. That's like watching paint dry. You're just going to go insane. And you did initially, but then you finally gave up on it. Did you just give up because you got exasperated, or did you listen to Max? Did you listen to me? What made you give up on watching that thing?
Well, it was just the waiting, and it makes you crazy. So I just thought to myself, listen, it's not worth it because you're making yourself sick just to watch one portal. No, man. And it's not worth it. So I just stopped and just went about the day waiting for the lives to happen and just watch you. And yeah, no. But I do have some advice that I can, not advice, actually a little bit of a, like you say in Afrikaans, is kies vir die mense wat kerk toe gaan uitkak. People, I know you are packing up your whole life in South Africa. Don't try to pack up your whole life in a suitcase. You can buy new stuff, yeah. We had some people in our crew flying out that day, Remember, it's a 16 something hour flight, and you're tired, you're filthy, you just want to get to your apartment and take a shower. And those people didn't have their luggage because their luggage was left behind, because there were some people that had like 4 or 5 suitcases per person. So the luggage got left behind in Johannesburg, and they had to struggle. I mean, you have to go and sleep in dirty clothes. Take your 1 or 2 bags. It's not necessary for 4 or 5 bags per person to take it in. Yeah, you've got the money, so that means that you can use that money and buy new stuff on this side.
Yeah, that's good advice, Pikachu. It's something I said from the outset here. I said, look, I understand where people are coming from, but unless you have the money to ship your life over in a container, which is doable, but very expensive, unless you have the ability to do that, you don't need to bring a lot with you. Everything you want and need. The thing you're going to want to bring is things that are special to you, heirlooms, maybe a few photographs, maybe something your kids made when they were in primary school, maybe a memento that was handed down from your great-great-grandparents from the Anglo-Boer War, or when they settled in the Free State in the 1840s, or something like that. But beyond that, you're just weighing yourself down, and then you got to drag that stuff around here. And in your case, I hadn't heard this before, but it sounds like there were too many bags for the flight, and bags got left behind.
Yes, yes. I think it's 2 or 3 families that they didn't have any luggage. And I mean, you're tired, you just want to come clean and go to bed. And they didn't even have clean clothes because there was too much luggage. Some people had 4 or 5 bags per person, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. Someone just jumped in the chat here and said that the Supreme Court has ruled that Trump's tariffs are illegal. South African exporters are relieved. Well, then they're idiots, because they're not paying attention. I haven't seen the Supreme Court because I've been doing interviews this morning, but if the Supreme Court said that they're illegal in the context of a congressional law that's been on the books for 40 years. Therefore, the law has been violated for 40 years. The Trump administration has many other tools at its disposal, and they'll simply use one of the other tools to apply those tariffs, and then people have to take it to court again. So the South Africans can be relieved all they want, but the United States has the right to apply tariffs to any country it wants to. The way Trump did it was under a specific law, and he cited that law that gave him the authority to do it because it made it easier. Well, they've already been planning for this, so there'll be tariffs slapped right back on South Africa, which, because of the government's behavior, are, what's the word I'm looking for? Appropriate. That's the word I want to say. So they need to calm down. Claire Bear says, this is why we haven't seen Pikachu. Oh, online in the chat. Yeah, well, she's been busy traveling, but she's been here for 3 weeks. You ought to see her in the chat. So ask her why. I've got to take a call. Why don't you go talk to the audience for a minute for me, okay? Just share a little about your experience, okay? I got to take a phone call. It's important.
Okay, not a problem. I'll go. All right. The reason why I was not in the chat is everything is new. You have to go and explore. Let me go. I'll check your questions on the phone. Just hold on. So yeah, you have to go and explore, and you have to see everything. Okay, now we can see some questions. And you guys are lucky, the ones that did go through. My friend Lazelle and Anton, I think they're here tonight. They had a bad one, guys. You are lucky. You are lucky if you're here. They had a real bad one. They were supposed to be the first family here, and they were supposed to fly on the Monday. The Sunday, they sold everything. They sold the last transport. They got rid of everything. They emptied out the house. They went to family to go and visit and to be a step closer to the airport. And that morning that they were supposed to fly out, they got cancelled. So be sure who you've got linked to your case. Please, guys, make sure you know the people that is linked to your case, because that is why it's not cancelled, it's postponed. So that is why it happened. This is a little bit awkward. So is there any other questions you guys can throw? I'm checking here for questions. Is it on? Oh. Okay. Sean. Yeah, Sean. I actually purchased the mask on Five Below, and they delivered to the door. I purchased it an hour. I waited an hour, and they delivered to the door. um, sorry, Corey. Tomatiesaus gaan jy online moet koop of by sekere chains. Ek was nog nie by baie chains gewees nie, maar jy gaan dit online moet koop. Daar's definitief goeders wat ons online gaan koop. Dit is mayonnaise. Dit is koffie. My aromat, definitief. My 6-gun spice. En wat het ons nog gesê?
Tomato sauce.
No, chutney, because I can't go without chutney.
Conditioner.
Oh yeah, and one thing I can Pikachu, is there a favorite Pokemon? No, listen, I'm not a big fan of Pikachu, Pokemon, whatever. This is my cat's name. I left my cat behind. So my cat is nog steeds in South Africa. Dis my baby, julle. Dis my brat. So ek het hom agtergelaat. Dit is sy naam. Dit is hoekom dis ek nou. So ja, ek wens ek het geld gehad om hom oor te bring, maar ongelukkig is ek nog nie in daai situasie nie. En dan is daar een ding wat ek kan share. I don't know if it's the same in all the states. If you go and take a bath, I don't know, it's not the soap because I took out my South African soap bar. I don't know, it's like the soap doesn't wash off of you. And the conditioner is not working with the water. It is a little bit difficult. It's something to get used to, but we will get there. No problem. Let me see. Any more questions?
How did you do?
It's a little bit awkward. I'm trying to read some questions,
Okay.
asking if they've got questions. So,
I'm sorry about that, but
I did answer a couple.
that was a critically important call. So my apologies for stepping aside,
problem.
folks. But when you're a one-man operation, sometimes that's how things go. So my apologies to the
I
audience.
told you I'll come and be your PA. I did tell you months ago.
Yeah. The problem with that is I have to give people access to my personal accounts, and after having my Twitter account hijacked by the state security agents in South Africa for a month, I'm not too comfortable with giving people access to things. All right, so let me see what's in the chat here while I stepped away. People said you did a fine job. What do you think of the?
Thank you.
What's this? A flush toilet? What's this? What do they tell my flush toilets?
The handle.
Somebody said they're taking safari biltong. Look, Jala Farms, I appreciate what you're saying, but apparently you're not allowed to bring biltong into America. That's supposedly how it works. I'll leave it at that, okay? I'm not going to say I've never brought biltong or I have brought in. We'll just leave it like that. Anyway. Okay, so what did they want to ask you, or what did you share while I was gone?
Someone asked something about Olgo tomato sauce.
Oh, my
Tomato
goodness.
sauce.
Seriously?
Guys, you can purchase that stuff online. It is just a little bit more pricey, but you can get it. Don't stress.
Yikes, my goodness. Yeah, no, so Ingrid said you were a pro, okay? But yeah, it is a little harder than it looks, isn't it, Pikachu?
Yeah, it feels a little bit awkward because, this mask it's a little bit hot in here.
I'll bet it is. Well, I guess it won't be the only only thing it smells is the bread when you take that mask off.
She's gonna know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she stole my super chats. What? What's this? Somebody said she stole my super chats. I don't think we had any super chats.
What I super chats for gonna know?
All right, sorry about that, Pikachu. I do apologize, but trust me, that was very important for me to take the phone call. And not for me, but for everybody else. So I had to address something here very quickly. I'd reached out to Washington D.C. to find out what's going on with these so-called cancellations, and I'll talk about that after we're done down here, but yeah, I have 2 cats. I let them come as soon as we're part of family. Yeah, that's okay, Karen. You're smart about that with pets. Did you have any pets that you had to leave behind, Pikachu?
This is my cat's name. That is why it's my name now. I had to leave him behind. It is a Munchkin. It's a dwarf cat. It's a red cat, even with a small tail. So he's quite special to me. He's with my son at the moment. I do call him every night, and I do chat with him on video call, but it's not like he's responding to me. So yeah, that is the 2 things I want back in my life, is my cat and my son.
Well, is that something you've looked at now that you're on this side? Are you able to have pets where you're at or no?
I cannot understand. I had this conversation with our agent. You know, the part that we are in, it is a 1-bedroom apartment, all of them. The whole apartment block is 1-bedroom apartments. Now you've got these people with 2 big dogs in that apartment for the whole day. In the evening, they come back and then they take the dog out for a whiz. And then the dog is stuck in the apartment for the whole day. Even when we moved in, our apartment was like hair everywhere. We had to take the vacuum cleaner to clean it out. I told my caseworker, this is animal cruelty, because you cannot have a dog in an apartment for the whole day. Just take it out once or twice a day for a whiz. It is not fair to the animal.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I mean, there's one thing also I see a lot of people. I mean, Americans love their pets, but you also got people that don't really take good care of pets too. People who chain their dogs outside all the time, keep them on a chain in a doghouse. I grew up with that sort of thing. I never understood that, but I agree with you. But an apartment for a cat, especially a Munchkin, I mean, isn't there enough space for the cat to run around the house?
No, I won't do it to my cat, because my cat needs to be outside. He's used to living on a farm. He's used to going out whenever he wants. So I won't put a cat in an apartment. It's cruel.
Well,
it is just my personal choice.
Yeah, I was going to say you and I are going to have a different opinion on that one, because the problem is that cats who are out and about tend to have far shorter lifespans than those who are kept indoors. The average lifespan for a feral cat is 5 to 6 years. A cat that tends to go outdoors might be 8 to 10 years. Whereas my cat lived in large houses, lived for 23 years and lived quite well. So yeah, I see where you're coming from, but you're obviously not going to be able to do that there. So does that mean you have an intention to move away from there to a place where you'll be able to be out in kind of a semi-rural area so you can have the cat there?
Yes. We are going to find a job. Obviously, the first thing, the most important thing, and then eventually we will move out of the blue state and join some normal people. And find a bigger place. And yeah, eventually we will. The dream is to find a property that we can buy and call our own, and hopefully it is a farm. I don't know how possible that would be, but I know we're going to work our asses off.
I don't think that's going to happen in Massachusetts. Land is very expensive there, but there's a big country, lots of land out there, lots of space. But and a word of caution with your cat, because I know you want to put the cat outside, but you mentioned it's a miniature kind of cat. We have birds of prey in this country, lots of them, and big ones: hawks, osprey, falcons, eagles. They don't just go after squirrels and rats and mice. You got to be careful with that cat. You might want to keep an eye on your cat when you let it outside. Just saying.
Yeah, well, life is different. Yeah, everything is different. The other day we were standing outside, so we've got this like a mountainy area at the back with houses on top there, and we were standing outside. It was dark. It was late. And all of a sudden you hear this screaming and screeching. I don't know what animal it is. We still have to learn what is around here. So I do not know what it was. And it sounded like, seriously, that thing is in pain.
Yeah, that happens. It's unfortunate. Someone's saying T-Bone is offering a Jeep. I don't know who T-Bone is. I don't recall seeing the username. T-Bone, welcome. Please, one of the mods, put my email address up there. If T-Bone is offering a Jeep, I don't know if he's offering to them or where T-Bone is at, but I will try to link T-Bone up with someone that can take advantage of that if they've got a vehicle they want to offer. I don't know if it's offered on sale.
Well, I won't say no.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's offering it on sale or discount or he's offering to give it away. I'm not sure, but send me an email. Mods, I need you to jump in there and put the email address for T-Bone T-Bone to send me an email, and I'll check on that shortly. All right. Yeah, foxes. Oh, yeah, we have fox around here, and there's a little den of them that live between here and the park, park is 300 meters away. But those fox, they're very shy. But when you do hear them, they yelp a lot. But they typically only out early in the morning because they stay away from people. They do not like being near people. So,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Well, he said he gave it away. Well, guys, I missed it. I was busy taking a call, and I didn't see that. Plus, I'm trying to chat with Pikachu, so I don't catch everything in the chat. All right. So, Pikachu, you said no regrets. What's the best thing about this so far? I mean, you talked the whole process when you put the statement of interest in all the way up to arrival and right now in late February of 2026. What's the best thing about the experience for you?
Well, the best thing about our experience here is the freedom and the safety. It is really something else. We have never experienced this, and it is great. It is great just to be, and not to have to look over your shoulder, not to clutch your bag, and not to clutch on your children when you walk down the street. It is the best thing, and the most grateful thing that we have is for colonial youth and President Trump. I know some of his people are watching this. Tell him we love him. We thank him with all of our hearts, and we do not have words. We are so grateful for each and every one that is involved in this thing, that pulled us through and to get us here.
Oh, that's amazing. I really appreciate the kind words for myself and for President Trump. And to the 500 people currently watching, thank you. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. We do appreciate you guys tuning in, particularly since we didn't announce this. We did share that we were going to have an interview today, but didn't announce it in advance. I was, with all the other things going on, I wanted to make sure that we protected Pikachu's anonymity, and I forgot where he left this. So I'd actually said, I sent her a message, hey, I need a photo for the thumbnail. And then I went back. Then she didn't respond. I think maybe she was nervous or something. I went back and I found earlier. She's like, yeah, we wanted to do this anonymous. I'm like, oh, okay. I forgot about that. So we do appreciate, feel free to share this interview far and wide. And Mad Max says,
Colonel is not, it is not about shy, it's about going out and exploring. Or everything is new, you just want to see. Mm-hmm. And you just want to explore and venture. So yeah, it's not shy, it is out and about.
Got you. So Mad Max said this is the most humbling experience ever. Now, Max, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I mean, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but Max is a hardy man. He's a courageous man who fear is not something that appears in his eyes, and maybe he's emotional, but I've not seen him be emotional. But he sent me a voice note the other day when he was at the hotel with his family, resting and sleeping, and he was telling me how it was going. And in the last 3 seconds, you could hear he cut it off. He became very emotional about coming over and how grateful he was to be here. And I'm kind of getting emotional now talking about it, but it was...
No, stop it. You're making me emotional. Stop it.
No, but it hit home. It hit home very hard because all the people in South Africa that act like such turds about this program and about South Africans. And, you know, Pikachu, I don't know if you saw this because you're busy getting settled into your life, but the report that just came out from UCT, a study, and the government's talking about it and promoting it, and Ramaphosa is going on about it, in which they say that in 2014 or 2012, 61% of South African white families had a household income of 75,000. Now remember that 75,000 Rand in 2012 is not 75,000 Rand in 2026 because of inflation. You can buy a lot less for that money. So your money's not worth nearly as much. But the benchmark of a middle-class family that's surviving is 75,000 Rand. In 2012, 61% of white households, so just over half, were at that benchmark. That means that half the population was below that, who are white. For black families, it was 29%. That's terrible. In the meantime, since 2012 to 2026, now it's 41% of black families, so that's a good improvement. But from 61, it's dropped to 41% of white families, which means they've impoverished white people they've enriched black people at the expense of white people. If what had happened in those years is that the white families, if it had gone from 61% to 68%, that would mean the economy is improving and things are getting better. And if the black families increased from 29 to 41. But no, black families went up, white families came down. And they're saying this is a good thing. This is incredibly cruel and idiotic. And actually, economists in South Africa are crowing about how transformation is taking place. Yeah, you're transforming people who are succeeding into poverty because you're denying them jobs, university access, government tenders, and things like this. This is very real. I mean, I imagine that, I don't know if that's the case in your family, but many people I've talked to, this has been their experience. They can't get contracts, they can't get jobs, they go years unemployed. They send out 1,200 resumes and get no responses, or told, well, we can't hire you because it violates our BE quotas. I mean, this is a real thing, isn't it, Pikachu?
Oh, yes, for sure. See, like the last place I worked, I was actually a front desk manager at a hotel, and the HR was an Indian lady. And I tell you, the amount of racism that's coming from her, and only her, because the owner is a white guy. And most of the employees, I was the only white one in that hotel, in that certain one. I was treated like crap. It was so bad, whereas when my husband picked me up, I was in tears almost every day. So I said to him, you know what, I cannot take this anymore from that Indian lady. She's the worst. So I just quit my job. I sat at home for 8 months now, and I just couldn't take it. I would rather sit starving and suckling than have to do with that racism, rape. I don't know. I don't even have words.
So you were actually being mistreated by an Indian South African?
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's very...
And I get furious about it. I can scream about it, because that is not the experience that a lot of my husband's customers in South Africa was Indians, and they're not like that. But she's got this thing with white people. She's a freaking racist. I'm sorry, I'm angry.
No, that's better than being emotional. And because we got from the verge of tears, we've got the anger bubbled up now. It's understandable. But I mean, all right, so, but you're not dealing with any of that at the moment in Massachusetts, are you?
No, absolutely not. There is no racism at all in where we at.
Well, you're not.
I think it is the whole of America.
You're not experiencing, but I mean, look, there is racism in America. There's racism everywhere, but it's not every day in your face. You're not being abused by people because of your race. That's just a statement.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, we'll make sure we're clear on that. All right, well, cool beans.
And colonial,
Yeah.
I just want to mention something. When you took your call, I did mention to the people, maybe you can just put some more attention on it. Like Lizelle and Anton, I know they reached out to you. They were linked. People, make sure who you are linked to. Make sure you know the background of that person, because it might come back and bite you and stop you like the day you are flying. Same for Lizelle and Anton. The day when they were supposed to fly, they've got postponement.
Yeah, no, 100%. You got to be careful with cases you're linking, even family members, you know. So you got to think about that. My recommendation is unless it's, you know, people very well, is don't link, just get over here. If you want to link up after that, then one of you can move to the other one's location or something like that. But you just got to be careful. I know of someone who was supposed to come over on their own, and their case got linked with someone else, and so they turned down coming over in August. Could have been here in August, turned down. Then we had the shutdown, and now they're not coming, and the family that this person was supposed to come over with is blaming them, even though it has nothing to do with them. And so it's just, this person is being blamed, and this person gave up their seat so they could be linked to this family because they were close. Well, apparently you're not that close. So you got to be very careful about that, because that could cause you headaches. I mean, it's just, everyone's like, I want to be like, now, Neil says South Africans are generally very lovely people. Yes, they are. She just didn't like her. And it's just being nasty. That's, you know, look, there are idiots of all hues and skin colors. That's just the nature of life, unfortunately. So yeah, no, Indians are also, you know, it's when I hear people say that, you know, but they're part of BE, you know, they may write the law that say that coloreds and Indians are eligible under BE, but when it comes to enacting the law and using the policies, they're discriminated against too. I know many coloreds and Indians who can't get government tenders, they can't get university, they can't get contracts, they can't get jobs because they're not black enough. So they are also discriminated against. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Joe says you get racist in every color, and you get bigots in every color. Absolutely. My son has the same issue with his workplace. Sure. Although the owners are white, we are English speaking, and the owner just don't like. Yeah, suities. Yeah. No, that's another problem. That's the dumbest problem of all. People just always want to divide themselves by English speaking and Afrikaans, and well, you're not a boer because you're not on a farm, and oh my goodness, it just never ends. Yeah, medical's expiring has become a big problem for people. Yes, it's not a big problem, Ian. It's not a big problem at all. You just have to do the medicals again. That's the deal. Now, the problem comes if you live in Uppington and you have to go to Cape Town for your medicals, or if you live in PE or Gebera and you have to go to Joburg. Well, then it is a problem. But it's not a problem. Medicals expiring. Ask the Somalis that are in Kenya that have to go for medicals 8 and 10 times and get the test over and over again. It's just the way things are, unfortunately. They're aware of it. They're not going to expedite your case because they've screwed up. Trust me, that isn't going to happen. Anyway, so at any point did you, other than watching my case, did you ever despair about this, Pikachu? I'm curious.
Say again?
At any point, other than watching my case and checking your port all the time, at any point in the process, did you despair? Where you're like, oh, woe is me, this isn't going to happen, man. I'm stuck.
Well, I guess everyone gets to that stage, but no, like I said, we just gave up and let it all happen, and everything happened. My husband had this saying that I will be ready if I've got. Luckily, in South Africa, he actually had some clients that they do get a lot of Americans visiting, and the one guy is actually married to an American. So he did some work for them, and they paid him in dollars. So we had some dollars before we came. It's not a lot, but we had some. And I don't even know what I was about to say.
No, that's okay. But I can attest that you didn't have a lot of dollars because I've yet to see any super chats from you in dollars. I'm just saying.
We have to use their dollars for Uber.
Right, exactly. No, but I went, but now that you're in America, you can't watch the show and watch the American ads because I make 8 times as much on an American ad. Now, when I say that, if you watch an ad, it's not like I'm making $1. It's like I'm making 0.00012 cents per view. But that's okay. Those things add up.
Yeah. We'll try. It is just I don't know. I don't really get your notifications anymore ever since we've been here.
Yeah, no, you've got to bookmark the channel and you've got to go look for it. And you know that the news is right now it's 7 hours difference between South Africa, so it's 11 o'clock in the morning. When we go to when we spring forward for daylight savings, it's 6 hours. So then it'll be lunchtime, noon every day that I'm on, plus the night owls, which is on at 10 right now. It'll be 11 o'clock when that happens. Just so if you want to watch the program. The soap problem is what's this? What's the soap problem? Somebody's talking about a soap problem. I don't. What is that? There's no soap problem here. What's going on here? Anyway, I don't know what that's. But someone's talking about soap over here. So yeah, medicals expire after 6 months, folks. Your medical examination is only valid for 6 months. If you don't depart within the 6 months after you've completed your medicals, then you have to redo them. And there's nothing we can do to change that. And I know a lot of people. Ian's one of those people that's in the boat that your medical's expiring. It's just the nature of things. The shutdown in October into November did not help this situation. And then also the people who didn't fly at that time, about half of them or more are still stuck in South Africa. And I don't know why that's the case. Something about showering in soap, Anton says. What's going on? Did you talk about soap while I was away on the call in the shower?
No, I was talking about the water and the soapiness here. It is like if you rinse off, it doesn't. You have to rinse like 5 minutes before you feel like clean now. Like the soap is off.
Okay, well
the water is different.
Well, yeah, I don't know the water quality and mineral content there. I have a heavy mineral content here because it's well water that comes from a mountainside. Provided by a co-op, but it has lots of calcium in it, so it clogs up the lines. And so I've already had to have some spigots replaced since I got into the new construction house. It just depends where you're at. I mean, the water is water, but I mean, yes, how they treat it. You have municipal water supply there, so it depends how they treat it. But it's probably also a function of the soap, the type of soap, the way the soap is formulated. If you're using bar soap or using hand soap, I typically it's a little too much information here, but I tend to use my shampoo, which has a conditioner and shampoo in it. for my entire body. You know, it's I just
Okay.
and that comes off pretty smoothly, and it leaves the hair
really?
soft. Yeah. So a lot of people like, you know, to use
wow.
product. I don't use product in my hair. All I use is I use my shampoo and it's got conditioner in it. So that's it. So it just, you might want to mess around a little bit. Try different shampoo or hand soap
yeah.
or shower soap products. There's so many out there. So Matthew Dixon says
thanks for
bars.
the tip.
No, you're welcome. Matthew Dixon says bar soap is better. Matthew, come on. Yeah, look, dude, you don't even know what soap is. The last time you took a shower was in the 1990s. Come on. Who are you kidding? Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, Sammy just gave a 40 rand super chat. Thank you for that. I missed the super chat, so I'll get to them before we wrap up. Willy-nilly says, if you don't have a family tie, how's your location decided? Can we suggest locations that are similar climate? You can suggest all you want. You can ask. You might get it. You might not. Your location is determined on several things, which I've shared thousands of times, but let's share it very quickly here. Your location is determined based on your family size or your case number. If there's 1 or 10 people in it, that has an impact where you can go. I mean, we can't put 10 people in a one-bedroom apartment. We might cram 2 or 3 in there, but not 10. Also, it has to do, in the best of circumstances, with your profession. I mean, if you work in the automotive industry in Uitenhage, then maybe they're going to send you to Detroit or, you know, Dearborn or somewhere where there's automotive industry, or South Carolina. You can work in that industry. That's possible. If you have a family relation or you have a pre-existing tie to an area, you can ask to go there. But you know, bear in mind that some of these people come over as refugees, have family that are here. And when they contact me, they're like, I don't want those people near me. They don't tell you that. But your son might be over here, but he might not want mom to be near him. So they're like, I'm sorry, I can't help them. That does happen. So you can influence it by asking where you'd like to go, or say you'd like to go to these places and give a good reason. But that determination is made by the Department of Homeland Security here in the States. So they are disconnected from the person you're talking to, but the information is forwarded to them. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Pikachu, did you have any influence over where you went, or did you just wound up in Massachusetts?
We did not know anything beforehand. It just happened, and you know what? We took it. It is a blue state. So we thought it was going to be a challenge, but it's not. People, just fit in with the people. Don't bring your South African manners hier. So los jou maniere by die huis, want jy's in Amerika en kom join hulle. Jy kom hier na toe, so moenie dink jy gaan 'n Suid-Afrikaanse community skep nie. Dit is nie hoe dit werk nie. Jy's in die US, jy volg hulle, jy pas aan by hulle. Dit is jou nuwe plek.
100%.
So doen nie verandering.
100%. Willy-nilly's apologizing. No need to apologize, Willie. I'm making the point that I say it over and over again. These are questions that have been asked many, many times. Not everybody watches all my videos. I know. I appreciate that. Also, it's hidden from people. A lot of people have just discovering my content for the first time, and so they're asking the questions. Knight of Justice says, Pikachu, I have cards to swap with you. It sounds like a Pokemon fan there. We got a Pokemon fan. Listen, I gotta be honest. Let me ask about the Pikachu thing, because I never got Pokemon or Pikachu or my Hello Kitty, all that stuff. I thought that was just juvenile nonsense until I went to Japan for the World Cup. And now I'm a huge Peekaboo fan, and I actually kind of like the Pokemon, and I even like Hello Kitty. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say I like Hello Kitty. So what's the Pikachu thing with you? Is there something to it? I mean, because I bought that big Pikachu doll. Let me grab it when I was in Durban at the airport. Hang on, I want to rip these out. Come here, Pikachu. All right, so yeah, I was in Durban at the airport on my trip there, and I couldn't resist it. It was like 400 rand, and I bought Pikachu.
Oh, wow. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. So what's the story with you and Pikachu?
No, it's like I said, my cat's name is Pikachu.
Oh, that's
and
why.
It's my baby. It's my brat, yes.
No, but I mean, I got that, but did you have a tie to it before that, or did you name him Pikachu just out of the blue? Love that tail, that lightning tail. It's on the back there.
No, I didn't have a tie to it. I just used it.
Okay, well, that's cool. All right, so yeah. All right, well, okay, that explains a few things. That's cool. I mean, but I love the mask. Okay, now here's the real question. Did you carry that mask from South Africa, or did you buy it here?
I bought it here from Five Below. I told them while you took your call, I was actually ordering it. It's almost an hour. It got dropped at the door.
Wow, that's fast.
For $5.
Yeah,
$5. Five Below, $5.
Yeah, no, we've got those Dollar Tree and Dollar General stores where you can get things. They tend
Yes.
to have like smaller portions, so you don't have to buy a whole lot, so people can buy affordable. Also, there's some of the cheaper things are in there, but more affordable as well. Some is good quality stuff that you find in the store, so it's a good thing.
Oh,
to know.
yes.
Also, I don't know if this applies for you or it's an issue for you, but just advice, because I know there's other people in the room. Earlier, when you were answering the question about what's the best thing, before you answered, there was an echo that preceded you saying the safety. So we know there's other people in the room. We already talked about that. But
yes. They don't want to talk. They're sitting here.
oh, I know,
They're checking me.
but we can hear them. We've heard them a couple of times. They think they're clever, but they're not so clever. Also,
My sister-in-law here.
yeah.
My brother-in-law was actually the main applicant on their case.
Uh-huh.
But my sister-in-law has got dual citizenship. So she's over here with a British passport.
Yeah, see, there you go. So there's another case, just like the Stoltz family, of a safe haven passport. As I've told people, like, well, I can't go because I'm a British national. Well, if you're married to a qualified applicant, or you're the offspring and you're a minor of a qualified applicant, so you could be like your parents could be Afrikaners and you happen to be in the UK, you were born there and you're a citizen there and South Africa, they're not going to leave you behind in South Africa. And if you're married, we're not going to leave you behind. And Stoltz is a perfect case of that. Same here. The people with the safe haven passport, if they're the primary applicant, they're going to be denied. But if they're married to an eligible or a lawful dependent of them, they're going to come over. And that's a good example of that. Yeah. So I got a little bit off track where I was going with that, but I did want to ask a question. And so I appreciate that them being in the room. I don't know if they're smiling or if they're whatever. Actually, hang on a second. I do have the camera that I had mounted in your apartment. Let me adjust that real quick. Oh yeah, I see them smiling. No.
You actually
look at that.
you actually did meet them at one of your meet and greets in Pretoria, where?
Two of them.
Two of them, apparently.
At Opie Plus.
And you took a photo with them.
Oh, well, come on, guys. I met 800 people at Open Plus. That doesn't narrow it down. Now I have to go back and watch the footage of the Dutch liar who did the documentary about South Africa. Oh, my goodness. Y'all need to quit talking about flights being canceled and be patient. I'll address that when we finish here, okay? Stop your speculation. All right. It's a different kind of racism, Chris. It's how we're hated because of the color of skin. They don't even know or care what kind of person we are. Well, that's not a different kind of racism, reader. That's racism all over the place. People never make an effort to get to know somebody. They just are abusive towards them because they're different. And the different skin color. That's just racism. That's just bigotry and racism. Mexicans, Cubans, and who know who. There's no racist feeling, just normal people. Oh, that's where Mad Max is at. Yeah, well, Virginia is not where Mexicans are supposed to be. Texas, California, New Mexico, Arizona, that makes sense. But Virginia, Pennsylvania, that's an odd place for them to be. Anyway, so all right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I appreciate your patience while I had to take the phone call, and I really appreciate coming in. I love the Pikachu mask; that was fantastic. Now I'm going to have to look at doing it. You're welcome. I have to look at doing a trip up there because we also have folks in Connecticut, which is nearby. And also New Hampshire, so I could do a round robin and try to meet up with as many people as possible.
Oh yes,
yes. Probably in the spring, early summer. We'll see how that goes because I've already got planning on Pittsburgh next weekend, and then off to Vegas in March, and then probably at the end of March off to Florida. I'm working on that, so lots going on. So, but we'll see what we can work it in. And on top of that, I've got all my other responsibilities, my consulting. But let me give you the floor for a few minutes and give you a chance to say any final words of encouragement or anything you want to share with folks about the process or about how it's going to work out and about your experience here in the States. The floor is yours, Pikachu.
All right. Before I get to that, we are quite a few families in Massachusetts. We are only 4 in this area. So it's not that big of a travel distance. So maybe we can do same as you had in Texas. Everyone get together and make a meet and greet, and maybe you can get some more interviews on that. Okay. So guys, I know it is a cliche. Be patient. I've been there, but it happened, and in God's good time, it will happen. Just be patient. He will let it happen when it's your time. And I know it's discouraging, especially I know Lizelle. I've spoken to her the other night and we were crying together. Sissy, dit gaan gebeur. Dit gaan gebeur. Mense, en if you do your packing, just bear in mind there is some other people that also wants to take some luggage with and take a bath and have some clean clothes. So if you do your packing, just bear in mind, please. It is really difficult to sit with no clothes, and yeah, be strong, be safe, and be kind to each other, because we have encountered some South Africans on this side that is not that kind, and they don't want to see the sun above your head. But be kind, just cut that out of your life, and it will happen. Have faith.
Well, that's awesome closing remarks. Thank you so much for that. And really thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. It was also great chatting with you when you were on your route trying to get over here. That was exciting. I'm glad to see you guys are doing well. Looks like you have a lovely place. And yeah, well, Massachusetts is kind of in the middle between, you got Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. So we'll try to figure something out where maybe people can travel to and do a braai. That'd be fantastic.
Just as long as it's closest to me, because I don't have transport. Uber is expensive.
Well, you don't have transport now, but by the time I get there, hopefully that'll be resolved. I mean, I'm not coming tomorrow, so
hopefully.
Maybe, yeah. So we'll see.
Comes, people.
Well, if actually, that was the thing. I had some smart Alex who said there aren't 85 people at the Dallas meet and greet. There were 85 people. I counted them, and I didn't include myself. And of that, 50 or 55 were refugees. Bear in mind, as you know, Pikachu, that.
Are you gonna come?
What's that? They want to get on?
No, I just see my sister-in-law covering up, so I thought you want to come? She says no.
Okay. Yeah, so of the 85, 50 or 55 are refugees, and bear in mind that, like you've just alluded to, where we were at this location, which was a lovely place, by the way, owned by a South African who's been in the States for a long time, is well established. It has a lovely place. But bear in mind that that was a half hour away, 45 minutes away from where many of the refugees are living, and they couldn't afford an Uber to get there. So many came. In fact, a few who are doing well, one family drove up from Houston in their lovely Bucky. I told them that rather than super chats, they just give me the keys to their Ford. I'll take that in payment. but they weren't biting. They weren't going for that. I tried. Anyway, but no, it was lovely. But what I did is I was able to go the following day and the next day, and I booked in a hotel about 600 meters from where they were all staying in a cluster, and I met with folks. I met with an additional 15 or 18 of the refugees the next day, plus I interviewed several more after that. So I wound up seeing of the 251. Now, obviously, there must have been more refugees in Texas by the time I got there, but the total from 251, which is end of January, I met with at least 85 or 90 of the South African refugees in Texas, most of them in Dallas, but a few who drove up from Houston. So there you go. All right, cool beans.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I share our back view with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you've been talking about the view. I want to see it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Let me go put you up on a big screen.
I think the people in South Africa will love it. Guys, this is our view every day. And don't be jealous, because soon you'll be here. You can't.
Okay, that is a nice view. I thought maybe there's going to be an ocean view there.
Oh, no. Some mountainy area going on here. Is amazing, hey?
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool beans. All right, well, that's awesome. While you're getting the camera set back down, I'll keep talking. That way I'm on camera and you're not. There we go. All right, now we're both on camera. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I'm sure that the 3,000 plus who tuned in for the live appreciate it at this time, and the 500 plus who currently here.
3,000 plus?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me see what the number is.
Oh my gosh, guys, where's that likes and where's that super chats?
Oh, my bad. It's 2,700. I overstated. Well, there's 401 likes, 505 people currently here. So some people are failing. They're not going to get through matric at that rate. In order to get through matric, exactly. You're going to have to. The 500 of you here, somebody's going to have to start pushing that like button. I got another 3. Milk 3 out of that. Yeah, the chat and the likes make a difference, folks. It drives people to watch the videos, and these interviews are really special. So thank you so much for that, and to all your family, welcome to America. I think I might have said that when I sent you a text message when you got here, but if I didn't and neglected, I try to say that to everyone.
No, you did.
Yeah, so my apologies. Welcome to America, and I hope that it all goes well for you guys, and I look forward to a braai up in New England.
Yay, just waiting for the past to defrost.
Wow.
En kolonial,
Ja.
in Afrikaans, uit my hart uit, sê ek vir jou, ek en my hele gesin wat hier is, sê ons vir jou, baie dankie vir jou tyd wat jy gevat het, om vir ons deur te bring. Ons waardeer dit so baie, en ons is God dankbaar vir mense soos jy en Prof G vir julle vat julle tyd om met ons te werk. En dankie. Thank you. I've got a mask on because otherwise you'll see me cry.
Yeah, no. Thank you so much. It's very heartfelt. I appreciate it. Other than the Professor G reference, I'll tell him you said hi to him. For those of you who thought I didn't understand Afrikaans, now you know better. All right.
We appreciate you and we love you.
Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to help. All right, I'll let you drop off, and then I'm going to break the news to people about these flights, okay? So, okay, so you may want to, I can send you a note afterwards if you're curious about it, but I'm going to put you in the waiting room. You can drop off there, and then if you still if you have the stream there, you can open up real quick and catch what's said at the end if you want to do that, okay?
All right, I'm checking in now. Thank you, Colonel. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks, that was Pikachu, and whoops, she dropped off on her own, so they know what they're doing. All right, so the question is, let me take this headphone off because it's distracting for me. Yeah, so the question is, a lot of people are freaking out. There's messages floating around. I tried to reach out to Washington today to find out what's going on. I had no warning of this. I can confirm that the U.S. government has put a temporary pause on flights coming from South Africa with refugees. Don't know how long this temporary pause is. I know that some people here in the chat said it's the 9th of March. I cannot confirm that that's a true date. I suspect that could be true, but we don't know. What I can tell you is the U.S. government has put a temporary pause, and the explanation is not forthcoming for what it is. But this is being done by Washington, not by the embassy. And I can't confirm, but I believe it's not being done by the people processing refugees, but by a different agency in the U.S. government. I'm not sure why it's happening, but it is true. And this is as of Monday. People who said they're not flying today, that doesn't make sense. Those flights are still supposed to be happening. It's as of Monday, which is the 23rd. So I'm not sure. Now, a lot of people are spilling the beans on this. So all I can tell you is what I know and what I've been able to discover out of Washington. So hopefully we'll get more information and clarity on this, but that is another spanner in the works, and that's very difficult for people who are about to leave, and it really upsets things. So now I suspect we're going to have a lot more people who are going to need help with food socks and maybe accommodation. No, it's not good, Mark. I don't know what's going on here. This is what happens when bureaucrats intervene. This is not good. Who knows? Maybe it has to do with a pending war in Iran, you know? Maybe that has something to do with it. We don't know. I'm not saying there's any link whatsoever. There would be a link, but I mean, it may have absolutely nothing to do with South Africa or with South Africans. We don't know, but I can confirm there is a temporary pause on departure of refugees from South Africa to the United States for an unspecified period of time. It's in effect as of Monday, to my understanding. Yep. Renee, Tali, I understand where you're coming from, but that's one reason why you should pay extra money for a few dollars for the insurance. Yep. Yeah, it's going to suck for them, and I appreciate that, but there's nothing I can do to fix that other than try to help them. Yeah, there. Archie, I mean, you've not really told me anything. You've sold everything, quit your job, and will be homeless. What does that mean? Do you have a flight booked between now and the next 2 or 3 weeks? Did you have tickets? It's not devastating news. It's frustrating news. There's no devastation. Those people get over here. Okay? All right? So people need to stop panicking. First off, you need to make a plan. All right? Lots of moaning going on over here in the chat. You need to make a plan. I'm here trying to help you make a plan. Complaining about things is not going to improve your situation. All right? You need to be specific. All right? Hey, Steve, welcome. As a platoon leader, appreciate that. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. All right, so let's try to sort through this. Exactly, Shylock. It is what it is. Be patient and plan. Yep, I will keep you posted if I get more information, more confirmation of things. I will definitely keep you posted as to what's going on here. What was I trying to do? I was trying to do something here. Now I forget what it was. Anyway, must not be important because I can't find it. Does it look likely? It's looking more and more likely that the United States will do at least a limited strike on Iran. Yep. Yes, our second shutdown with medical expiring and shutdown. That doesn't help me either, waiting to exhale. What do you mean expiring and shutdown? What shutdown? There is no shutdown. There is no shutdown. The shutdown occurred. It was in October into November. That's over. The Homeland Security being shut down has not had any effect on flights coming out. That is ongoing and people have still come out for the past week. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Kim Matt says one of those who had her flights canceled. When was your flight supposed to be, Kim? When was your flight supposed to be? Yes, Charles, it sounds like the crap is about to hit the fan, and this may be what the reason is. Yeah, Kim, I got you. The 23rd. Yeah, you unfortunately, that's true. Yep, Kim, I'm so sorry to hear that. For those who find themselves in the following situation where you had a ticket already, not the people trying to grift onto this and say, well, I'm going. No, you're not going. You haven't got approval. You never got tickets. If you fall into category where we now know there's a temporary pause, like that happened to the people in September and October, like happened to a few people with screw-ups in January, if you're in that situation now, there's the email address. Reach out to me. You need to let me know where the hell you're at, okay? And if you need help with food. Now, let me tell you something here very quickly here. I don't know how many people this affects and how many people are going to need help. Some people have money, some people don't. If you need help, you don't have money, and you need food, as long as you have a place where you can warm up food and cook the food, I can get food to you through Food Socks. All right, there's nothing wrong with asking for help there. As far as accommodation, you need to be more judicious because people are putting out of themselves to accommodate people where it's possible. If you are asking for help with accommodation, I promise you nothing other than I'll make an effort on the part of some people. But it all comes down to the Wyatt Army and how generous and helpful people are in the Wyatt Army, okay? So what I need from you, if you're one of those people, you need to tell me the size of your party. If you have a family of 6, I need to know that. I need to know the ages, okay? And if you're looking for help for accommodation, I need to know the ages and gender. Not because I'm nosy, because I'm not putting, toddlers in the same room with teenagers. That's a disaster unless you have no option whatsoever, okay? So I cannot promise I can get you accommodation, but we have helped over a dozen families who were caught in these binds before. Also, I've had people who said, I don't need help, and then they're waiting 2 or 3 months and they burn through all their cash. I have no money, I'm desperate, I'm starving. Why? Well, because I've been waiting since October. Well, why didn't you contact me sooner? I told you I made the offer. Well, because they're proud, okay? Let's not let pride get in the way, okay? Let's not let pride get in the way. Do not burn through your cash reserves to feed yourself because my government has screwed you over in the short term, okay? All right. Renee, I've already addressed what you just said. That's already been stated once. The South African Airlines don't want to refund tickets. Again, my advice when you buy tickets through FlySAF Air and through Airlink is to pay for the extra insurance. It costs nothing. I mean, when you pay for that insurance in America, what did I just book? I just booked a hotel in America. They wanted to charge me $24 for travel insurance. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $24. Oh, no, it was the tickets. It was the tickets for the Springboks game. They wanted to charge me $24 in case I can't make the game. I'm not paying $24. By comparison, for my flight in South Africa, it was like $3 for the insurance. Yes, I know that's close to 100 Rand or 60 Rand, but pay the insurance. I know it's too late for people in a situation, but always pay that insurance. Yes, and Shylock is right. I think consumer protections mean they have to refund your tickets. What is the email? Well, it was just pushed in the chat. Are you not paying attention? I think Hendo put it up there. Hendo just put the email up there, and so did Sally. Guys, you got to pay attention. Although Sally didn't finish it, it's .com. Roll back and scroll back a little bit. And there it is, Charles Van Olsen. My moderators are putting it up there. Also, you need to be patient. I understand I get 1,000 emails per day, and now my government has just screwed me and you over by putting more work in my lane that's unpaid labor, and I'm still going to do it, but it takes time to get to these things, okay? We're one of the few ones sold our car, so we had a bit of cash and got the email minutes before quitting jobs and calling estate agents. Well, Kim, that was very fortunate. Very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Yep. You got a call, though. That's good. Good. Or you got the email. Okay. Yeah. So here's another thing, folks. Folks, if you are supposed to fly in the next 2 or 3 weeks or next month, you've got tickets already. I don't think anybody a month out has got tickets. You need to quickly check your email, check your spam folder, and look if you've got an email. And if you're on the verge of canceling your lease or quitting your job, you need to pull back from that and make sure that you're not going to be caught in a bind. Okay. It may be a pause due to bad planning. It could be an administrative issue on this end. It could be, lots of things. I mean, I didn't get promoted. Why is that damn hand up? I didn't get promoted for a long time when I was a lieutenant for an extra 6 months because some idiot in the Clinton administration said that not enough women and minorities had got promoted. So they froze all of our promotions for 6 months. It cost me $4,200 in pay back in the 1990s, which was a lot of money. Don't know how to resign with a week's notice. I don't know what that means. I don't know. That doesn't help me out at all. What do you mean? You're welcome, Storm Chaser. It's not heartbreaking. Stop with the heartbreaking. Stop with the tears. What are we, all 6-year-olds? It's a bump. Do you think the 4 truckers who were marching up into the Old Transvaal when they were attacked by Mzilikazi, did they go, oh, fuck, we're screwed now? No, they formed a lager and they got in defensive positions and they fought back and they allied with the Tswana, the Bafokeng, and the Bangmamwato. Well, not so much the Bangmamwato, but the Bafokeng. And they fought off Mzilikazi and chased his sorry ass up into Zimbabwe. Let's start being adults here and let's start making a plan, okay? If we had emails on Wednesday to prepare for travel 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, first off, you're very confused to begin with there, MK Crown. If you have an email that says be prepared to leave in 2 to 4 weeks, I've said this many, many times. That doesn't mean you're leaving in 2 to 4 weeks. It does not mean you're leaving in 2 to 4 weeks. It means you must be prepared in case they call you. You could be called. But most people get that email, don't get called for a month or 2 or 3 months after. And they're like, oh my gosh, they told me 2 weeks, I quit my job, I got rid of my house, I'm on the street. That email does not mean that you're leaving in 2 to 4 weeks. It's never meant that. Listen to what I'm telling you. It means you could. All right. So I wouldn't cancel anything if I got an email like that. Okay. All right. Resign at the last second, people. Do not worry about the what consequence? Are you going to piss off your employer? Look, I mean, I'm sorry for the employers, but they're part of the problem here, especially if you work for a big company, because they went along with this garbage for BEE to imprison and to impoverish South Africans. So they're part of the problem. And I'm sorry. What's more important? Your safety and welfare or your employer's feelings? I mean, think about this, okay? If your medicals expire March 9th and you haven't flown by March 9th, then you'll have to do the medicals again, waiting to exhale. There's no way around it. Okay? I'll recommend a payment and a raise for you to Christina. Well, thank you, Ann. There's a potential pay consequence is what I was talking about. Oh, gotcha, Charles. No, okay, look, I understand that. You talking about maybe cashing out your retirement or something like that? I got it. I got it. So I understand where people are coming from. Yep. Everything will be okay. It's just a bump. Exactly. It's just a bump in the road. And we need to focus on how to fix it for people. I mean, look, I don't get paid. It's not my job. I don't work for the U.S. government. I don't work for any of you. But here I am trying to help you get through this, okay? It's a bump in the road. It's going to be very inconvenient for some people. It's going to be very heart-wrenching for some people. But now is not the time to complain and moan about it. Now is the time to start making a plan. As South Africans love to say, whether they're colored or Indian or even some blacks, but certainly Afrikaners and Boer maak 'n plan. So let's make a plan here, okay? The medicals, why are you asking 3? I've said a million times it's 6 months. Medicals are valid for 6 months. Polster says, I think we need to console those who've already unplugged their lives. Okay, Polster, so let's turn this into a cheese and wine session. Let's, okay, folks, it's terrible. Hold your hands. We're not going to solve the problem for you here. We're just going to commiserate with you. It's miserable. It's sad. It's horrible. It's unfair. I've sold my house. I sold my bakkie. I'm at the airport now. Was supposed to fly on Monday. Now I'm screwed. Okay. Did that resolve the problem? No, it didn't. Am I heartless? No, I'm not. I'm a leader. I don't have time for belly aching. I have to help people solve problems. I can console people in person. Consoling you over 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 miles of electrons is not the easiest thing to do. I can try. But what I can do from 6 to 7,000, 8 miles is reassure you that people care and people are trying. Does that help? Just a thought. Thank you. Let's focus on the way forward. All right. Let's focus on a path forward here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to predict right now what's going to come out of this next. This is the next story to come from this. You ready for this? See, the program is unreliable. It was never real. Trump administration is just pulling the carpet out from under people. Look how they're messing with people's lives. This isn't right. See, you shouldn't apply for FG program. You watch. Within 48 hours, we'll see it on social media, and we'll probably see it on the fake news in South Africa. That'll be the story. You watch and see. You watch and see. I guarantee it. Truth Seeker says the worst part is I have to spend another couple months with my mother-in-law. Yeah, now that I apologize for. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. The news is coming up next. We're a half hour behind on the news. My apologies for that. And thank you all for your patience. I need a short couple-minute break here to get it all set up. So please stick with me. You'll be redirected to the news if you want to join me over there. And I do appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button, folks, if you haven't done it already. We still haven't hit 500 likes. Seriously? We haven't hit 500 likes. We've had 3,000 people watch this program. We haven't got 500 likes. That's just weak. Okay, I'm Craig Crown. Thank you all for your patience and understanding. I'm not trying to minimize people's difficulties. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just trying to say you can sit there and moan about things later on. Let's try to find a path forward now, okay? All right, cool beans. All right. Well, Virtual Western Cape, that doesn't help me at all. Why would you get an email about flights? Why would you get an email about flights? Are you telling us you have a flight scheduled for the next 2 or 3 weeks? See, I can't answer that. You didn't give me information. Exactly. Let me talk about the day you leave. Bye, boss. Keep quiet about what you're doing. Exactly. All right, guys. My eyes will be opened. To what? Okay. All righty. There you go. The email's been put up many times, so I probably got a flood of emails now. You guys take care. Be sure to, come on, can we not get to 500 likes? 495. I'm not going anywhere. Give me 5 more likes. Well, I'm not going to start a fund, Carol Ann, but a South African can do it if they want to do it in conjunction with me, and it's a trustworthy person, then, yeah, but I'm not going to start the fund because the moment I do that, first thing we hear is, oh, see, he's stealing money from refugees. He's making money from refugees. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Same reason, despite the fact that people encouraged me for the past year to start an NGO, like Mike did in Philadelphia, and like other people have done, that you should do that. You know about the program. Yeah, but the moment I do that, I get accused of stealing money from people. So I'm not even going to play around with it. Okay? Yes, it's just flights to my knowledge. So they'll still continue processing for people finding. All right? Did we get to 500? 509. We finally got there. Okay, I'll see you on the news here in a few minutes. Okay, thank you for your patience. We'll talk about this right at the outset of the next broadcast in a few minutes. All right? That's going to do it, folks. Wow. What a morning. And I've still got a lot going on here. I got an interview for myself at 2:30 this afternoon. It's more like a planning session than an interview. And we still got a lot going on. Right. Cheers. See you shortly. Thanks.